What's going on, duelists? It's your boy Nick, bringing you today on the channel even more combos for my Beetrooper Ragnaraika deck list for the post Legacy of Destruction format. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. My name is Nick. We do Yu-Gi-Oh content mainly focused around rogue and casual decks alike. If that's the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh that you're interested in, then I highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. We are currently working our way to 2,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. So, Ragnaraika is a brand new theme that just made its TCG debut in Legacy of Destruction, and it is a combo deck, I guess you would call it, like a link spammy deck comprised of 3 individual monster types, kind of in the same vein as Tri-Brigade, those monster types being insects, plants, and reptiles specifically for the Ragnaraika theme. Now, as of right now, they can't really function as their own pure deck. They work a lot better right now as an engine in various insect, plant, or reptile decks, but Beetrooper being one of my personal favorite decks and a deck that I brought to the channel previously, I wanted to bring you guys even more combos with this particular deck list. I did update the profile. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can check out the profile, because in the original version, we were choosing to use a Battle Wasp level 2 insect as our normal summon called Sting the Poison. However, after doing some testing with the deck, I found that Dragonbite, a dark level 4 insect tuner monster, is actually a much better normal summon for this deck, especially when it comes to post Infinite Forbidden, which is our next TCG core set, which at time of recording we should be getting here sometime towards the end of July. In that set, it's already been confirmed that we're getting 2 brand new Ragnaraika cards, one in the form of a Link 3, and one in the form of a level 4 insect main deck monster, which as of right now, I'm just going to refer to as the Waifu Beetle. But I think Dragonbite's an amazing normal summon for this particular deck, at least for the Beetrooper variant of Ragnaraika, because there's some really interesting things you can pull off with it. And I wanted to make this video because I know some people were curious as to why Dragonbite is better than, say, something like Sting the Poison, for example. So, with the intro out of the way, we're diving headfirst into these combos. We're going to be doing 2-card combos today, mainly focusing on the Dragonbite itself, plus an additional monster. Now, one of the things that I like about Dragonbite specifically is that when normal summoned, he specials any level 4 or lower insect from hand. So that means even if you draw cards that theoretically aren't extenders, think like something like Gokapole, for example, we can still combo with Gokapole, you know, using Dragonbite's effect to special it from the hand. So I want to start off this particular combo with the 2-card line using Dragonbite and Gokapole specifically, just so you guys can see what kind of advantage you can accrue. So what we're going to do here is we're going to normal summon Dragonbite, activate the effect to special summon a level 4 or lower insect from hand, which will be our copy of Gokapole. Then at that point, we're going to link summon using the Dragonbite and Gokapole as material, and we will be link summoning into a copy of Beetrooper Armor Horn. All of you Beetrooper enjoyers know how strong this particular link monster is. But that does proc our graveyard effect of Gokapole. Since it was sent to grave, we get to add a level 4 insect monster from deck to hand. Now, it does have an additional benefit if that insect we added is a vanilla normal monster, but we're not playing normal monsters in this deck for obvious reasons. We're just going to be adding using Gokapole as a way to search any level 4 insect, which again, post Infinite Forbidden means we can actually search that brand new Ragnaraika insect monster known as Waifu Beetle. At least that's what I'm calling it currently. But for this particular instance, we're going to be using the Gokapole to grab Resonance Insect from the deck to our hand, who is a level 4 insect. Now we're going to activate the effect of Beetrooper Armor Horn here, which allows us to, it gives us an additional normal summon. So activate Armor Horn, then at resolution, we can normal summon our Resonance Insect as our second normal summon this turn. Then at that point, we can link off the Armor Horn and the Resonance Insect for our Ragnaraika Mantis Monk, which is the archetypal Link 3. Procking our grave effect of our Resonance, since it was sent from the field to grave, we can add a level 5 or higher insect monster from the deck to our hand, of which that will be a copy of our Doomdozer to our hand. Now at this point we can use the on-field effect of Mantis Monk to banish up to 2 insects, plants, and or reptiles from grave. So we're going to banish the Resonance and the Gokapole here, allowing us to search for a Ragnaraika trap card from the deck to our hand, which is the only trap they have currently, and that is their Hunting Dance, as it's called. Really great card. But because we banished the Resonance, Resonance triggers its secondary effect, allowing us to send an insect monster from our deck to grave, which is a really powerful effect, in my honest opinion. Now, at this point, what we can do here is we can send, kind of just deck thin a little bit in the grand scheme. How do we want to go about this? I guess we can just send Praying Mantis, which can banish itself from grave to produce a insect token to our side of the field, which is obviously really cool. Now at this point we can go Doomdozer here, banishing 2 insects from grave, which will be our Dragonbite and our Armor Horn, to go ahead and special summon itself. And now at this point we can then go link the Mantis Monk and the Doomdozer off to go ahead and climb into our copy of the Invincible Atlas. Atlas will then trigger its effect. Actually, how do I want to do this? No, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go Praying Mantis first, banishing itself to then produce a token to our side of the field. And then we'll go Atlas effect, tributing that insect token, allowing us to special summon from our deck a Beetrooper monster, which is obviously very strong. Now there's a couple of lines we can go here. We can go Scout Buggy trigger to summon Scout Buggy, and then go ahead and make our copy of Cicada King. However, if we don't want to do that, we can actually just go into our copy of, how do we want to do this? Sting Lancer, excuse me. Then activate Sting Lancer's effect on someone to search for a Beetrooper spell or trap. At which point we can go ahead and grab our copy of Flying Sting. And then at this point, we can just go ahead and set our Hunting Dance and set our Flying Sting here as disruptions. And we can just basically go ahead and pass turn. We could do a couple of other things, like using the Graveyard effect of Mantis Monk to put back Sting Lancer. And then we can actually climb into our, Ragnaraika Link 5. Although we could already do that without having to use Mantis' Grave effect. But the reason why I want to keep a Beetrooper name on the field is simply because we have Flying Sting, which is an additional disruption. And then, Atlas cannot be targeted or be destroyed by card effects while his attack is 3,000 or less. And since we don't have Ragnaraika Bloom on field, he's not currently being buffed. So he does have that targeting and destruction protection, which makes him just a little bit more difficult to clear. And since he is an Insect Link, our Hunting Dance is still alive to get that additional pop, which I think is great. Now, mind you, that's just off of a 2-card line that simply started with the Dragonbite and a Gokapole for this particular combo. And like I said, there was a couple of different ways you could have sequenced that, but I felt that that was the most optimal line you could go down with just those 2 cards, which I think is really cool. Now, if you want to see a different combo using the Dragonbite, I will be happy to show you what a secondary combo looks like. However, this time, instead of opening Dragonbite and Gokapole specifically, we're going to open Dragonbite plus Resonance. And I feel like this is the 2-card line that has the higher ceiling, as opposed to Dragonbite plus Gokapole. Both Dragonbite and Resonance Insect are played at 3 copies in this particular list, which again is linked in the description below. Be sure to check it out. So you have a pretty high chance of opening both of these cards together in any given starting hand. So what we're going to do is, for this 2-card combo, we're going to normal summon the Dragonbite, use Dragonbite's effect again to special summon a Resonance Insect, which again, this is why I like Dragonbite so much, because Dragonbite makes our non-extender insects that we play and basically turns them into extenders, which I think is really powerful. Keep in mind, Dragonbite is a tuner. So in the first combo with Gokapole, we link summon into Armor Horn. For this combo, we're actually going to synchro summon using Resonance and Dragonbite, who are both level 4s. Dragonbite obviously being a tuner and Resonance being a non-tuner. And we're going to synchro summon for our copy of Diablantis, the Menacing Mantis, level 8 Dark Insect Synchro Monster. And then we will activate its effect as Chainlink 1, and then chain block it with Resonance effect as Chainlink 2 in grave, since Resonance was sent from field to grave. As everyone knows, Resonance will let us add a level 5 or higher insect from deck to hand, and then Diablantis lets us Foolish Burial any insect or plant from our deck to the graveyard up to the number of non-tuners used as material, which for this particular combo would just be 1. So you get to Foolish 1 insect or plant. So off of the Resonance, we will go ahead and grab, as you know already, our copy of Doomdozer. And then off the Diablantis, and this is why I think the Dragonbite plus Resonance line has a much higher ceiling, because you can actually use this package to get into your Ragnaraika plays. We will use Diablantis to dump Ragnaraika the Evil Seed from our deck to our graveyard, who happens to be a plant monster. Then at this point, we can go Doomdozer effect in hand to special itself by banishing 2 insects from grave. So we'll banish Resonance and Dragonbite, specialing out the Doomdozer, triggering Resonance again in the banish zone to go ahead and send an insect from deck to grave, which will be our copy of... This can be a number of things, but I think the best thing to send here will be our copy of Gokapol. And then we will trigger Gokapol here to add a level 4 insect, being another Resonance. Because Resonance is not a hard once per turn, believe it or not. So we have Resonance in hand. Now at this point we can go Diablantis and Doomdozer. We're going to link both of those cards off for the Ragnaraika link to the Skeletal Soldier. Which then we can use Skeletal Soldier's effect to target a Ragnaraika monster in our graveyard and special summon it in defense. We can then revive our Evil Seed. And then since Evil Seed has just been special summoned, we can trigger its on summon effect to search for up to 2 Ragnaraika cards from the deck and or banish zone to hand. And then we banish a card from our hand at resolution. So we will grab our Ragnaraika Samurai Beetle and Ragnaraika Bloom directly from our deck. And then we banish a card at resolution, which will be our copy of Resonance in the hand. Triggering Resonance yet again to go ahead and send an insect from our deck to grave, which will be our copy of the Scary Moth to our graveyard. Hopefully you guys can see the graveyard there. And then at this point, we can use the Samurai Beetle effect in hand to take one of our banished insects, shuffle it back into the deck, and special itself. The Samurai Beetle can target any banished insect, plant, or reptile to special itself from the hand, which is really cool. Now at this point, we can then go Samurai Beetle and Skeletal Soldier, link those off to make our copy of the Mantis Monk, which will trigger the graveyard effect of Samurai Beetle. If it's sent to grave for the link summon of a Ragnaraika link monster, we can target any level 4 or lower insect, plant, or reptile in grave except itself, and special summon it. So now we can target our Gokapol, bring that back. Then, keep in mind we still have Bloom in hand. We haven't used Bloom yet. We can go Mantis Monk effect on field, banishing an insect, plant, or reptile, 2 of them from grave. So we'll banish the Samurai Beetle, and we will banish the Doomdozer from grave, and that will allow us to search for our trap card, the Hunting Dance, which is obviously really strong. Then, at this point, we can then link the Gokapol and the Mantis Monk to the graveyard to go ahead and make our copy of the Invincible Atlas. Now what we'll do is we'll go Ragnaraika Bloom effects. We'll activate it and then activate its on-field effects to special summon a banished Ragnaraika that is either banished or in our graveyard in defense position, which happens to be Samurai Beetle, who's an insect. And then we can go Atlas effect, tributing the Samurai Beetle, who's an insect. So we can use Atlas effect to special a Beetrooper from our deck, which will be our Scout Buggy. And then we'll go Scout Buggy effect to special summon yet another Scout Buggy. And then at this point we can overlay both Scout Buggies for our number 3 Cicada King, which is our Xyz monster of choice, a very good one. And then at which point we can then go link off the Invincible Atlas and the Evil Seed to climb all the way into our Ragnaraika Stag Sovereign, who is their link 5. And then we can go ahead and set our copy of Hunting Dance to our side of the field. Now this looks very unassuming, and mind you, we got to this line off of just starting with both Resonance and Dragonbite. So it's a 2-card combo that we initiated this line with. And we'll pass turn here. Now we have a negate off Cicada King, a double pop off Stag, plus an additional pop off of the Hunting Dance. But what the opponent doesn't know is that when we use our negate for our Cicada King to stop one of their monsters, At resolution of it, we can change the battle position of our Cicada King, and then when that occurs, Cicada King will revive an insect from our grave in defense position, at which point we can special our Scary Moth from our graveyard and floodgate our opponent with a pseudo El Shaddai window-like effect, because while Scary Moth is on the field, each player can only special summon one time. So you still get to the Stack Sovereign, the disruption off the trap, plus a negate with Cicada King, and a floodgate lock, a special summon lock, off of just 2 cards, which were just Resonance plus Dragonbite. And this is why I love playing the Dragonbite in this deck so much as a normal summon, and it only gets better post Infinite Forbidden once we do get those brand new Ragnaraika monsters that were already confirmed to be in that set. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these simple combos featuring the Dragonbite. It's an amazing card. It only has 1 printing, unfortunately, so if you guys do want to pick this up, I would recommend getting it sooner rather than later. It was an ultra rare from Battle of Chaos, which at this point has been a couple years since its release. But really amazing monster overall, and like I said, I think it's only going to get better once we get that brand new level 4 Ragnaraika insect come Infinite Forbidden. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the combos. Comment down below what you guys thought. If you have any other suggestions on different routes I could have taken, I love hearing everyone's feedback. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and with that being said, this is Nick hitting that end phase. Peace.